Hello everybody, my name's Alan and you're watching Guns, Gear, and Outdoors Alaska. It's a beautiful crisp morning, so I thought it'd be a good day to see if the AR-15 has any reliability issues when we over lube it. Right now I got my BRN16 A1 here, and it's I degreased it and I lubricated it very sparingly with a high-tech synthetic lube that's rated to 65 degrees below zero. So that's what we're going to use as a baseline. We'll shoot this here to see if it works. And got a 20 round Lancer magazine with 55 grain ball in it. And we're sitting about 30 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit right now, so it's pretty chilly. Let's see if it'll work as it's lubricated right now. Right, shot all 20 just fine, locked open, no issues. So let's lube it up with some just regular CLP and see what happens. So we're pulling this guy apart right here in the field. The things I really want to make sure we get are the bolt carrier group. Oh, I just dumped a bunch of snow on it. It's our bolt carrier group and our fire control group. Get those nice and lubed up, see what happens. You start getting down into these temperatures, everything gets a little bit more difficult. We're going to be using this Lucas Oil Extreme Duty CLP. This is just kind of the stuff I use from the summer. It's just general purpose CLP, but we're going to make sure we lube this thing wet. The areas I'm kind of concerned about here are the bolt carrier group and the firing pin, or the bolt carrier group being mostly the firing pin channel and around the cam, and also the fire control group. You might have some trouble with that. I think any of those could freeze up if this oil doesn't do well at cold temps, or maybe the bolt will just be sluggish. Make sure to slather it on there. And this might look really excessive, but this isn't outside the realm of possibility for what you might do if you're in a tropical environment or in like a jungle, warm weather, maritime environment where you're dealing with salt water and stuff. This wouldn't be that crazy, but it's definitely, whether it works or not, probably not what you want to do out here. I'm getting this thing lubed nice and wet. We'll go grab the rifle and we'll get the fire control group, get it back together, and see what happens. Let me get the fire control group too nice and good. I probably look really clumsy, but it's pretty chilly out here. I skied out here today, so yeah, that should be good. Let's get it back together. Alright, we got the gun lubed up with the regular old CLP. Let's see if it works. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but that bolt, nice and wet and shiny. Let's see if it works. You can see that oil in there smoking. But yeah, wow. Didn't gum it up really. Thing was lubed pretty heavy. I guess that Lucas Oil Extreme Duty stuff, CLP, did alright. Still wouldn't recommend lubricating that heavily when it's this cold out, but I guess with that particular lube, it did okay. I'm gonna still stick to my normal tried and true practice, but hey, maybe I'll try this out with a few different lubes sometime, but it appeared that stuff worked all right. All right, we're back in the cabin now. I actually sat down to edit that video, and I wasn't really happy with the conclusion that I came up with on range. So here we are. I really didn't expect that to work. And the reason why was I had my Ruger Mark IV out here. I had it still lubricated from the summer with the same bottle of CLP. And it was about 15 degrees below zero, and I was getting a lot of light strikes. Maybe 5 or 6 light strikes for every round I could get to go off. I thought it was the lubricant. So for this video, I thought I could demonstrate the AR-15 failing when it was over-lubed. But that's not what we got out there today. And I think that really serves me right for trying to distill a very complicated problem with a lot of different variables down into a 10-minute video. Because I didn't get the result we thought we would get. It ended up working. And the thing I don't want people to take away from this is that you can over-lube the AR-15 in the cold. Because it's really, it worked for us today, but there's so many other variables, it's not a good idea. When you have a gun, you really want it to work. It's something that's very important that it works right, so use tried and true methods. And if you can, you should test your gun and your lubricant out in the most extreme conditions that you think you're probably going to run into. So yeah, I got humbled there. I didn't get the result that I expected with this gun here and the Lucas Oil Extreme Duty CLP, but I guess that's how it goes. Problems in real life are a lot more complicated than theories, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys have any experience with guns not working in the cold, to leave those in the comments below. And also, if you have any methods that you really like that work for you, if you spend a lot of time out hunting and shooting or doing other things in the cold with firearms, I'd love to hear that too, different strategies, because I really think this is one of those things where there's a few ways to do it right and quite a few ways to do it wrong. And just because it worked for me today, over-lubed with this AR-15 under the conditions that I had out there then, would that be the case if I let that lube sit for a few more days or maybe just a few more hours, if I brought it inside and outside a few times? There's just way too many variables to test. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys do in the cold. I'd appreciate it if you considered supporting the channel on Patreon. And thanks guys, have a good one. Here in the cold when it's done correctly, and then let's over-lube it and see what happens. Oh, probably help if I put a round in the chamber.